Let's talk about money. I turned over $100,000 of debt into financial freedom, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Food. You see, food is a rather challenging subject to set a budget for. This is because diets vary so much, especially with children. However, I will say this. Try to keep your food expenses at or below 20% of your income after taxes. Now, you might have heard me say after taxes quite a bit at this point. I say this because in the past I've often made the mistake of looking at my annual salary and thinking that was my actual income, which unfortunately isn't accurate. This is because of taxes. Taxes take away so much of our money, and if we end up making our spending choices based off of what our salary says before taxes, then that's a surefire way to end up looking at your paycheck or your bank account and wondering where all your money had gone. Here's a quick and easy way to figure out what percent of your income you're spending. So go and get the total amount of money that you spent on food last month. Then divide that amount by your salary, the total amount of money that you make for the year. Then multiply that by 100, and you'll end up with the percent of your income that you're spending on food. So what are some ways to save on food and cut back on food expenses? One, if you get food vouchers where you get food for free, and if you're strapped for cash as well and behind on payments or you're in debt, I highly recommend that you put restaurants off for now and stick with home meals so you save that money and move yourself towards that objective, that goal, that dream that you're aspiring to, the reason why you're saving. Restaurant and takeout expenses add up very quickly. A phenomenal way to save money with food, and you've most likely heard about this already, is meal prepping. But here's the thing, meal prepping isn't just about saving money. It's a major time saver. When I started thinking about the premise of meal prepping, I thought to myself, I'm not about to sit in my house for 2, 3, 4 hours in a week chopping up ingredients and cooking things. I can just go to a restaurant. That's such a huge waste of time. I make enough money. Here's the thing. One, you're saving a lot of money, and it takes time to make money. So you're saving time in the same premise just by meal prepping. And in addition to that, meal prepping by itself actually saves you more time than going to a restaurant or fast food place during your lunch breaks. Think about it. Take note of how much time you spend standing on line to get your food at a restaurant, a cafe, and so on during your lunch break. Add that up with the amount of time you take walking to that place and then walking back to your office. Add that all up for whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so on. And see if that amounts to the amount of time you take meal prepping, the 3 or 4 hours. And for most people, I can promise you, you actually spend more time standing in line and walking to and from the office to get your meals than you actually do meal prepping. But the difference is when you go to Chipotle, you're paying 2 to 3 times the price you do when you meal prep. And meal prepping is actually healthier because you can control the ingredients that are put in there. Restaurants don't aim for health, they aim for flavor. For people who are huge on efficiency and time crunching, meal prep. For people who are big on additional reasons to be healthy or healthier, meal prep. For people who want to save money, it all comes right back to it. If you're not doing it now might be the time. And if any of you do delivery all the time, being it around 5 or more times per week, this is a video about saving money. And you're spending a whole lot more than you need to be. Plus, it's actually not that healthy. Remember what I said about restaurants cooking for flavor, not health? So, but there is a section here that actually creates a budget for you to spend money on whatever you want. And I'm gonna get into that pretty soon. Before that comes my next point.